Season 8, Episode 6, Surf and or Turf. Yeah, so the divorce episode is upon us.
Yep.
The CMC have been called by the map. This actually leaves very few key players who are free to move about left except maybe Discord or Trixie. Though family could be brought in like Big Mac, I suppose. It'd be interesting to see what they would pull out for what Discord's call out symbol would be.
Well, he did have a cutie mark when he was a pony. His pony form did. But it would probably be...
I'm going to say it's probably just his face. Just is from the neck up. Just a picture of his head. Because, yeah. Otherwise, there's no real way to do that.
Yeah.
And his horns might glow.
Yeah.
That would be how you'd signal him, definitely. His horns. His horns would glow, and that would be...
And then he'd come over and say, my Discord sense is tingling.
Oh, God. Discord's solving a friendship problem. I said, wait. Are you sure you don't need me to cause one?
Well, I mean, this episode kind of did that. They kind of caused the problem to cure it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really... At the end, other than him being more secure in his position, they really didn't change anything.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything. I was right all along.
Yeah, I love that part.
Anyway, so Twilight's going along to chaperone, and actually manages not to be too invasive on this one. But the
That's
stakes...
just too busy, like, ooh, look at that.
Ooh, shiny. Yes. And also the stakes are just a skosh lower than Starlight's mission. So, the stakes are just a skosh lower.
A skosh?
A
A
skosh.
skosh?
Yes.
Mm.
I like the word skosh. If you don't like it, well, put on you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Twilight wants to visit Mount Eris and is using the permission slip, the mission, and research as excuses to go. And
Because everyone knows she has to multitask.
yeah, well, she has to have an excuse if she's going to go somewhere. She has to have an excuse. It can't be just...
Delete free.
You can't be just... Oh, I need to chaperone the CMC. I also need to get this permission slip form sent out. I also need to do this and that. It's like, okay, sure. Research.
Then she's like, wait, I'm the princess. I can go wherever I want without an excuse.
You'd think.
She's also the headmaster, so leaving town has also got a headmistress, I suppose. I'm not sure if that changes. Anyway,
You remember what those, that stern little brain pony said?
yeah, you're always running off. Now
this-
we do get the fact that this is also the weekend, you know, because when he shows up and they're having all the sort of happy to be hippogriffs, you know.
We do
sort of-
this every week.
Yeah, we do this every weekend, so it is a weekend trip, so it shouldn't interfere with schooling, though the kids do live at the school, so it's a boarding school, so I don't know. Probably has
Also,
Starlight looking after him. Let's see. More than one house is alluded to, um, and the fable is hinted at early. Something I
Mhm.
found interesting, I couldn't remember what it was called. When you have, animals step in for humans to tell a story, like a moral story. It's a fable, obviously, but I was thinking also parable. Parable requires it be humans. But what I also found out while I was there is a person who writes fables is a fabulist or a fabulist. I'm not sure. I like fabulist a little more.
Yeah, me too.
They're fabulous.
Fabulist.
Yeah. No, no, Madrox, you can't write a fable just to be fabulous.
No, I want to be fabulous. Okay.
Even though you're gay, you're not fabulous, okay?
Anyway, Apple Bloom fills in the audience about the hippogriffs, and she tries to attract attention. Which is, she's like, apparently she spins a good yarn. Which we get a nice little exchange here. Sweetie Belle, I don't know if I'd like being a hippogriff, part bird, part pony. Which is interesting given that she has a friend who's a Pegasus. And Scootaloo.
Yeah.
I'm happy with just my pony parts, thanks.
Even though part of it doesn't even work.
Apple, I think hippogriffs are pretty neat. I learned all about them from Applejack. The hippogriffs all once lived happily on Mount Eris, but when the Storm King invaded, they used a magic pearl to turn into sea ponies and escape to the underwater safety of Sequestria. Then, in the Battle of Canterlot, when Applejack defeated the Storm King...
Wait, what?
She told you she defeated him? By herself? Maybe she didn't say that exactly, but it makes for a better story.
And everybody got bored.
But
you see what happens when you spoil a good story with the truth?
But and this is one time. I mean, we can't dump on Applejack for this one because it doesn't sound like she actually told her the embellished form of the story. She told her the truth, and then Apple Bloom embellished for a better story.
Although, to be fair, really it doesn't matter who she said won the battle.
They did all work together on it, but
yeah, but no, I'm saying it wouldn't ruin the story or change it at all. If no matter who you said defeated the Storm King, if you just said, because they were all enthralled before that. So if she'd have just said, and then after the Battle of Canterlot with the defeat of the Storm King,
it was scummy.
And left it with the defeat of the Storm King, and continued her yarn, it really wouldn't have. They would have still been enthralled. It was the interruption that broke the thrall.
Anyway, they arrive at the new Mount Eris station, and then Twilight informs them that, they're like, wonder what cutie mark problem there is. Which Twilight says, they don't have cutie marks.
And Cute is staring at all of the asses.
Yeah, that was going to say, this causes there to be a legitimate reason for the camera to zoom in on a butt in a children's show for a few seconds, and it'd be absolutely understandable.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, there is a reason to zoom in on a butt. um, so at this point, some have moved back, some have stayed in Sequestria. Uh, Terramar shifts back and forth with a piece of the pearl, which it's fun because it's an interesting name, Terramar, because if you look at it, his father's Skybeak, his mother's Ocean Flow, his sister's Silver Stream, and then he's in Latin. And
Yeah.
like, well, that's interesting. I wonder what Terramar means. If you break it down,
Earthsea.
yeah, Earth, and Mar, sea, though the forms used to be M-A-R-E in the Latin dictionary, but that I saw, but that might be just a conjugation thing. But yeah.
Well, you drop the vowel depending on how you combine the word.
Yeah, that's exactly.
A lot of yeah.
That's all I was saying was that, yeah, I don't know how to combine them in Latin, so I was like, this is what it is in the dictionary. I don't know. And another time, Twilight actually gets freaking treated like a celebrity.
Yeah, well, she should be used to it by now.
Well, I mean, it's so rare that she actually is treated like a celebrity. Like, there was the swap meet, and then now, and that's about it. She rarely.
Everybody's used to her being a celebrity. It's kind of like, cool, my best friend is, you're a super celebrity. Okay, I'm used to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, when she heads out of town, when she's not in Ponyville, yeah, okay, everybody knows her, and that's, it's not a big deal. But
with this case and her celebrity, the reason why they're so used to her, they're so obsessed is because she's the one who's pretty much single-handedly saved the day. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
because they are within their viewpoint. Princess Twilight and her friends made it possible for us to live the way we are and to stop hiding.
Yeah, but you still think that anytime she left Ponyville, it would be difficult for her to move around freely. Though obviously, if she, they don't always show the transition, so at any rate, considering, let's see, okay, but the reason he doesn't announce her as, yes, she's Princess of Friendship. He announces her as, she teaches Silverstream, and that's part of, okay. I don't know which way he's being proud of that his daughter's being taught by her, or proud to have her because she's teaching his daughter. Either way, the Earth, the sort of Mount Eris hippogriffs seem to really be happy to be hippogriffs. Already covered that. Let's see. Salmon juice, apparently a hippogriff delicacy.
Salmon juice tea.
I'm saying tea. Just
no, what's really funny is because you said salmon juice tea, and Puppy in the background's like, yum.
Ugh.
Because he was talking about something else.
No. They called it salmon oil tea. Never mind.
Well, yeah, that was that was in the sea. On land, they just called it salmon juice, which makes sense. I mean, they seem to be omnivores, because there was sushi in the picnic at the end. There was some sushi, and there was cake, and it was.
Yeah, but sushi can be made with just
Yeah, but the fact that they called up salmon juice makes me think salmon juice plus sushi being out there, they're omnivores.
Yeah.
Um,
plus the beaks.
yeah, the beak. It's like you can tell what a creature eats generally by what their teeth looks like. Generally
Yeah.
speaking. So
They probably eat some little mice too.
So we're about to get some awesome lore, of harmonizing heights, and then Sweetie Belle is totally enthralled with just the idea of harmonizing heights and interrupts to enjoy, to twirl. It is cute.
Be funny as about to say, legend says that anybody who steps foot on this land will be cursed forever. Oh, no, never mind. Joey left.
Yeah. Anyway, so at this point we get the real crux of the episode, the whole point of the episode. Terramar can't decide which to live with because they're both great places. The CMC, to their credit, to the show's writers' credit, they do provide an excellent strategy when faced with a tough decision. When in doubt, chart it out. List the pros and cons. It's a very good decision-making strategy. What are my pros? What are my cons? It's very useful. And that's a good thing to teach kids, I suppose. So, gold sticker for that. Twilight comes back into the picture with a trophy from winning a ring toss game. She needs the mother's signature. This times up perfectly with the exploration of the sea that the CMC plus Terramar are going to do, so it just sort of, that's convenient. But, it's convenient, but not ridiculous. It's like, oh yeah, she came back just in time for them to go to the sea. Yeah. We get this, and just Scoot stop with the Felios. Scoot, whoa, woohoo, yeah, whoa, this must be just like flying. Oh, Scoot, stop with the Felios.
The Felios?
Yes, when you have it's something I love Impossible a lot. That Pony Reviewer says whenever something is trying to be tug at your heartstrings a little bit. Scoots is having the time of her absolutely the time of her life. Sweetie Belle is complaining. Well, Sweetie Belle is over there complaining about the lack of light while standing in a dark alcove. It's like, there's no light down here. You're standing in a dark alcove.
It'd be like saying, "Oh, there's no light out here." Why stand underneath a giant tree?
Yeah. So they both have their decidedly different ideas as to what is a good thing, which one is the better thing. So Scoots loves the sea, Sweetie loves the land, Apple Bloom she's the middle ground, saying, we get a really cute song, but one little complaint. Scoots says, something of tortoises in the sea. It's like, no, tortoises are generally the terrestrial ones. But then she makes up for it by saying, with an all intents and porpoises joke. So that's the whole point of the tortoises, is to make a porpoises joke. All intents and porpoises. Yes. Thank you. The two grump out about not agreeing, and Terramar is left confused and annoyed. a little on the nose, but then Twilight is pulled in two directions by the two groups, wanting her to join them for fun. So we just like, this is exactly, I mean, it goes so far as to have this little exchange. Twilight's laughing. Skyweek's son, there you are. Okay. No, wait, that's a different part. But yeah, anyway. But at any rate, she does say that, oh, this must be how Terramar feels. To which we get this exchange at the end with a picnic that they throw. Twilight laughs. Skybeak, son, there you are. Your friends told us how you've been feeling. To which Oceanflow says, and we're sorry if we ever made you think you had to choose between worlds. That wasn't our intention, honey. Skybeak, your hippogriff heritage is something to be proud of, certainly. Oceanflow, but you're more than just where you're from or who you live with. We love you because you're you, no matter where you choose to be. Skybeak, you don't have to decide. You can keep doing what you've been doing, going back and forth. Oceanflow, and enjoying both places. And Terramar kind of celebrates a little bit. Scootaloo's, something we forgot to add that both places have. Family and friends who love you. And that's sort of the episode. It's basically,
that was beautiful.
It wasn't a bad episode. I like that they tackled the divorce thing. I don't think it's quite as deftly handled as it was under what was it, the name of that episode? The one with Tank hibernating.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as deftly handled as that, but I think it was nice that it got handled at some point, and it was okay handled. It wasn't. I'm not sure exactly how you'd improve it, but it just feels like you could have improved it just a little bit, focusing more on, the two. They covered the two sides pretty well, the pros and cons and whatnot, and I don't know. At any rate, yeah, I can't think of how. It just feels like there could have been done something more. I can't think of how, so I can't give that bit of constructive criticism that I'd like to give. But it feels like there was something that could have been done differently. But overall, it was good, and one of the better episodes of this very young season.
That's not saying much, though.
Yeah, that's not saying much. It's a young season. We've had a lot of garbage.
Yeah.
Well, it's garbage, but just not up to the quality that we know they're capable of.
Yeah.
But this season is young, and I think they tend to stack the less powerful episodes up early in the season, and it generally gets better as the season goes on. Like, they stack up a lot of the at the beginning. That way it gradually gets better as the season goes on.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. We'll just have to see what they do with that. Any final thoughts on this surf and or turf?
Not really.
No. Name makes me hungry, but no.
What? What makes you
The
hungry?
name makes me hungry.
Oh, okay. All right, then. We'll call that a review.